Reflex action mechanism. Reflex action is a special case of involuntary movement in voluntary organs. When a voluntary organ is in the vicinity of a sudden danger, it is immediately pulled away from the danger to save itself. For example, when your hand touches a very hot electric iron, you move away your hand in a jerk. All of this happens in flash, and your hand is saved from the imminent injury. This is an example of reflex action. The path through which nerves signals involved in a reflex action travel is called the reflex arc. The following flow chart shows the flow of signal in a reflex arc. Receptor, sensory neuron, relay neuron, motor neuron, effector muscle. The receptor is the organ which comes in the danger zone. The sensory neurons pick signals from the receptor and send them to the relay neuron. The relay neuron is present in the spinal cord. The spinal cord sends signals to the effector via the motor neuron. The effector comes in action, moves the receptor away from the danger. The reflex arc passes at the level of the spinal cord, and the signals involved in reflex action do not travel up to the brain. This is important because sending signals to the brain would involve more time. Although every action is ultimately controlled by the brain, the reflex action is mainly controlled at the level of spinal cord. The brain. Every animal you can think of, mammals, birds, reptiles, fish, amphibians, all have brains. But the human brain is unique. It gives us the power to think, plan, speak, imagine. It is truly an amazing organ. 1. It controls body temperature, blood pressure, heart rate, and breathing. 2. It accepts a flood of information about the world around us from our various senses, eyes, ears, nose, etc. 3. It handles physical motion when walking, talking, standing, or sitting. 4. It lets you think, dream, reason, and experience emotions. Human brain is a highly complex organ, which is mainly composed of the nervous tissues. The tissues are highly folded to accommodate a larger surface area in less space. The brain is covered by a 3-layered system of membranes called meninges. The CSF provides cushion to the brain against mechanical shocks. Furthermore, the brain is housed inside the skull for optimum protection. The human brain can be divided into 3 regions, viz. forebrain, midbrain, and hindbrain. It is composed of the cerebrum. The cerebrum controls the voluntary motor actions. It is the site of sensory perceptions like tactile and auditory perceptions. It is the seat of learning and memory. Medulla forms the brain stem along with the pons. It lies at the base of the brain and continues into the spinal cord. Medulla controls various involuntary functions like heartbeat, respiration, etc. Photoperiodism. The movements which are in a particular direction in relation to the stimulus are called tropic movements. Tropic movements happen as a result of growth of a plant part in a particular direction. There are 4 types of tropic movements, viz. Geotropic, phototropic, hydrotropic, and thigmotropic. The growth in a plant part in response to light is called phototropic movement. Stems usually show positive phototropic movement, while roots usually show negative phototropic movement. The heightened rate of cell division is attained by increased secretion of the plant hormone auxin in the part which is away from sunlight. Endocrine glands. Although we rarely think about them, the glands of the endocrine system and the hormones they release influence almost every cell, organ, and function of our bodies. The endocrine system is instrumental in regulating mood, growth and development, tissue function and metabolism, as well as sexual function and reproductive processes. The foundations of the endocrine system are the hormones and glands. As the body's chemical messenger, hormones transfer information and instructions from one set of cells to another. Although many different hormones circulate throughout the bloodstream, each one affects only the cells that are genetically programmed to receive and respond to its message, so we can say that hormones are target specific. Hormone levels can be influenced by factors such as stress, infection, and changes in the balance of fluid and minerals in blood. A gland is a group of cells that produces and secretes chemical messengers called hormones. A gland selects and removes materials from the blood, processes the materials, and secretes the finished chemical product to be used somewhere in the body. Some types of glands release their secretions in specific areas. Endocrine glands, hypothalamus gland. The hypothalamus, a collection of specialized cells that is located in the lower central part of the brain, is the primary link between the endocrine and nervous systems. Nerve cells in the hypothalamus control the pituitary gland by producing chemicals that either stimulate or suppress hormone secretions from the pituitary. The hypothalamus controls the anterior pituitary gland and through it the thyroid, gonads, adrenal cortex and the melanocytes. The hypothalamus actually produces the hormones secreted by the posterior pituitary. In addition, the hypothalamus acts through the autonomic nervous system to control the adrenal medulla. Endocrine glands, pituitary gland. Although it is no bigger than a pea, the pituitary gland, located at the base of the brain just beneath the hypothalamus, is considered the most important part of the endocrine system. It's often called the master gland because it makes hormones that control several other endocrine glands. The production and secretion of pituitary hormones can be influenced by factors such as emotions and seasonal changes. To accomplish this, the hypothalamus relays information sensed by the brain such as environmental temperature, light exposure patterns, and feelings to the pituitary. Endocrine glands, adrenal glands. The adrenal glands are a pair of roughly triangular glands found immediately superior to the kidneys. The adrenal glands are each made of two distinct layers, each with their own unique functions: the outer adrenal cortex and inner adrenal medulla. The adrenal cortex produces many cortical hormones in three classes: glucocorticoids, mineralocorticoids, and androgens. The adrenal medulla produces the hormones epinephrine and norepinephrine under stimulation by the sympathetic division of the autonomic nervous system. Both of these hormones help to increase the flow of blood to the brain and muscles to improve the fight or flight response to stress. These hormones also work to increase heart rate, breathing rate, and blood pressure while decreasing the flow of blood to and function of organs that are not involved in responding to emergencies. Endocrine glands, pancreas. The pancreas is a large gland located in the abdominal cavity, just inferior and posterior to the stomach. The pancreas is considered to be a heterocrine gland as it contains both endocrine and exocrine tissues. The endocrine cells of the pancreas, make up just about 1% of the total mass of the pancreas and are found in small groups throughout the pancreas called islets of Langerhans. Within these islets are two types of cells, alpha and beta cells. The alpha cells produce the hormone glucagon, which is responsible for raising blood glucose levels. Glucagon triggers muscle and liver cells to break down the polysaccharide glycogen to release glucose into the bloodstream. The beta cells produce the hormone insulin, which is responsible for lowering blood glucose levels after a meal. Insulin triggers the absorption of glucose from the blood into cells, where it is added to glycogen molecules for storage. Endocrine glands, pineal glands. The pineal gland is a small pine cone-shaped mass of glandular tissue found just posterior to the thalamus of the brain. The pineal gland produces the hormone melatonin that helps to regulate the human sleep-wake cycle known as the circadian rhythm. The activity of the pineal gland is inhibited by stimulation from the photoreceptors of the retina. This light sensitivity causes melatonin to be produced only in low light or darkness. Increased melatonin production causes humans to feel drowsy at night time when the pineal gland is active. Endocrine glands, testes. The testes are a pair of ellipsoid organs found in the scrotum of males that produce the androgen testosterone in males after the start of puberty. Testosterone has effects on many parts of the body, including the muscles, bones, sex organs, and hair follicles. This hormone causes growth and increase in strength of the bones and muscles, including the accelerated growth of long bones during adolescence. During puberty, testosterone controls the growth and development of the sex organs and body hair of males, including pubic, chest, and facial hair. In men who have inherited genes for baldness, testosterone triggers the onset of androgenic alopecia, commonly known as male pattern baldness. Endocrine glands, ovaries. The ovaries are a pair of almond-shaped glands located in the pelvic body cavity, lateral and superior to the uterus in females. The ovaries produce the female sex hormones, progesterone and estrogens. Progesterone is most active in females during ovulation and pregnancy, where it maintains appropriate conditions in the human body to support a developing fetus. Estrogens are a group of related hormones that function as the primary female sex hormones. Estrogen also triggers the increased growth of bones during adolescence that lead to adult height and proportions.